Hey, Cool Gray. Happy New Year 2018. It is January 1st. It's a very dreary, rainy, chilly day in Jacksonville, but I am ready to start a new year and to put some resolutions to work right away. So I've been telling you that there are going to be lots more cooking videos coming in 2018, but I also said there were going to be more art videos. So this channel is going to do double duty. The goal this year is to at least double the number of subscribers that I have right now. Also, no apologies, but I am 100% makeup free. It's January 1st. I'm lucky I got out of my pajamas for this today. But I also wanted to mention one of my other big goals for 2018. See this? It's way too clean. So we're gonna follow the journey of the apron, and I'm gonna get it as loved as I possibly can going forward. What's really exciting today is that I'm going to try something I have never done before. I have spent the last week or two watching every video and looking at every website that I can find that talk about and demonstrate acrylic pours. So I'm going to do my very first one. So excited to see what's going to happen and a little bit nervous because it's unpredictable and it's certainly messy. It uses a lot of paint. So I'm about ready to get started, and because I love living on the edge, I am not starting with something small or something easy. I'm starting with a three-dimensional object. This is a little crate that my sister gave me some Christmas gifts in, and I sanded it down and gessoed it, and I'm going to do a pour on the outside. And then on the inside, I'm going to do a decoupage. So, you know, let's start the year off with a bang. I'm going to mix my paints off camera. I'll show you the palette that I've chosen, and we will try this together for the first time. Okay, for better or worse, here we go. This morning I mixed up white because I know from what I've been watching that I'm going to need a whole lot of that. That it's the most important ingredient with acrylic pours. So I'm hoping that I can save some of that when I'm done. And that's about, I would say, what I've done with all of these is about 1 part paint to maybe 4 parts Floetrol, my pouring medium, and a little bit of water. And I do have some treadmill silicone lubricant that I haven't put in yet. So I'm going to add that just before we go. For my colors, I've got just, these are craft paints. This is called Bimini Blue. And when I added the Floetrol, you can see it did raise the value just a little bit, which is okay with me. I have a metallic black, and I added just a little bit of regular black as well because it definitely looks more like a deep charcoal than a black to me. That may be because of the metallic, it may be because of the Floetrol, but we'll see what we get. And then again, it's about 1 part paint to 3 to 4 parts Floetrol, and then a little bit of water to get the consistency that I want. This color is Classic Gold. It's also a craft paint, Anita's, and it looks like the value was raised on this as well. So it gets my first pour, so I just want to see what's going to happen here, and I just want to sort of let that go. There's a little bit of marbling, and I think that may be the metallic in the paint as well. I don't seem to be able to get a smooth mix in the cup, and I think that's going to be okay with me as well. Everything's just going to be okay with me. It's just okay because it's January 1st and it's art. And one thing that I have said many times with art, and I will probably say it a lot more, is that nothing is a mistake and everything is art. So there's no failure, no failure. Okay, so I'm going to get started. If I sound a little hyper, it's because, oh my gosh, this is my first pour. I've been watching so many of these videos. I'm going to do 2 cups for this little box, and I'm going to start with white because everybody seems to start with white all the time. I'm going to use my fingers and I'm going to grab a paper towel. All right, I think I'm going to do white then black, and because I've no experience with this, I really don't know what's going to happen. So with the white and the black, I didn't want to add any silicone. And then with the gold and the blue, I'm going to just put a couple of drops in here. Wow, look, I'm already getting cells in there. A couple drops. 1, 2, whoops. 1, 2. And I'm going to mix that up. And mix that up. All right, my Bimini blue is going to come next. I'm trying to do these as similarly as possible, and I just don't know what to expect. And here's my gold. Okay, and let's repeat that sequence again. Fingers, fingers, and paper towels. All right, black, white and black have no silicone. See, the black seems to be kind of dominating, so maybe I should go a little easier on that, but however it turns out, it looks to me like it's going to be gorgeous. I really want this blue to come through. My gold again. And I'm going to finish this up with one more white round. Then we're going to, oh my gosh, this is so much liquid. So I'm using a aluminum sheet pan that's been coated with some baking parchment, and my hope is that I might even get some acrylic skins out of this as well. That I can use for some collage later. And I'm going to move everything out of the way, because if it can spill, it will spill with me. And the way I'm going to approach this is to take my box and put it on top. I'm going to separate these a little bit more. I'm so nervous. Oh my gosh. Just let that sit and drip down for a minute. And I can actually move this over a little to center it more on the screen for you. I like these colors a lot. All right, I'm going to just go for this because I don't know how else to approach this for my very first time. Just go. Oh my goodness. Let me get on this edge here, make sure the corners get covered. I guess I can put these over here. So exciting. So it looks like I need almost no tilting, but I do want to get my edges, my corners. guess that would be the challenge with 3D objects. It looks like I'm not going to get all of it covered. And I know that if I try to rescue any of this paint, I will get mud. Let's try this. That works a little. Let's see if I can do some encouraging here. The colors did blend on the sides. I can't really pick it up and show you just yet, but a lot more than it did on this top surface, which of course will become the bottom surface. But I think it's a really respectable first attempt. And it certainly does look like I'll have some kind of a skin to work with. A lot of paint did pour off, and that's leading me to believe that maybe I had too much Floetrol, or I added too much water and I made it thinner than it needs to be. So, you know, it's definitely a learning experience the first time you do anything. All right, I am gonna let it sit. It looks to me like I'm gonna get most of my cells on the bottom of the box. And that's okay, very much okay. The sides of the box are going to be a very different story, so we'll see what happens. After it's been sitting for, let's say, an hour or so, I'll come back and we'll do a little tour of duty here. I do see that there are still a few areas here. I know that the end result's going to be a little bit muddier and more homogeneous than I would like. But because I have some paint left over, I'm going to actually try to relocate this a little bit while it's drying. And do a small canvas with the leftovers. And I think I want to add a little bit of purple as well. So stand by, you will get a bonus round. Well, it's the next morning, so I want to show you the results of what happened. Here is what will be the bottom of the little box. So that's the very first pour ever. I actually do feel very satisfied with this. I did not get as many cells as I would have liked, and I'm beginning to understand why that is now. It looks like I mixed the silicone in far too much. So what I'm reading is that once you add the silicone, you should only mix a very little bit, if at all, in order to get bigger cells. But we did get some, and I really do like these color options. Now, along the side of the box, because it's not just a little edge of a canvas, it's a much deeper surface. I got more of a drip effect, and then I did enhance that by using a craft stick to drip some things along the side. So the box will actually look like this on the sides. And you know what? I'm not entirely unhappy with that. I kind of like it for what I'm going to use it for, which is I'm going to put some 4x4 canvases in here for display at craft fairs. This inside and top part I'm going to decoupage with napkins in this Bimini blue color, and I'll probably bring that lip around the edge a little bit and do some kind of a border there, so it'll be a complete thing. So for now, that's that. It's just been dried overnight. It dried much faster than a canvas. Over here is the other canvas that I did. I messed with it a whole bunch off camera, and then of course I think the way you guys were looking at it was kind of like this. It changed a whole lot, so I've never experienced that before, and even when I thought I had it where I wanted it, it continued to change as it sat, so that was a real learning experience. You'll see really almost no cells in here whatsoever, and that is because I mixed and mixed and mixed. I kept mixing every time I poured, and I think that's the reason. Also, I mixed far too much paint, maybe 3 times the paint I needed, and the runoff just would not dry, would not dry. I just had puddles and puddles, so there was some waste this time, so lessons learned. Also, I touched it a little bit here. There were some areas that were bumping up a little bit, so that didn't go well, but it's okay, because as I always say, nothing is failure and everything is art, and I do plan, once this is cured, to actually do an overlay and to do some painting over it. So I don't consider that to be a total loss. I'm going to turn this into something beautiful, and you should too. I love the way the golds came up here, but I'm not happy with the fact that so much canvas is showing through. I don't know if that means my paint was too thin. I kind of feel like maybe it was. But this is going to become a mixed media piece, and I'm not sure exactly what happens with it yet. But I'm very happy with the fact that this blue popped up, because it wasn't doing that in the beginning. And this is just the beginning of the evolution of this piece. What's next? What's next is I did this mandala a while ago, and then it wasn't 100% symmetrical. So in the corner, I tried to create this other thing. Actually, it's meant to be viewed like this. I hate this. This was like a sand product of some kind, and it dries like cement. I can't even sand it off without ruining the design completely. And then, of course, you know, glitter. Maybe you're a fan of glitter, but I'm really not, and I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to create kind of a galactic look. So my plan is to do a pour over this and try to create another look in the corner there. And if it goes well, I may actually do it in the other corner too. So we'll see. Anyway, that's what's coming up next. Thanks so much for joining me. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the little bell on the main channel page if you'd like to be notified when there are new videos. So many more art videos are coming up in 2018. Check out my other video that talks about that. It's the 2018 What's Coming Up video. And I will see you next time.